Welcome to Studio 7. I'm Mercedes Wilson.
And I'm Katie Dave.
And Katie's back with us for the third day.
I know.
I'm so excited.
Third time's a charm.
Yes. happy. Thank God it's Friday Eve, Peter says. I love Thursdays, but I love Fridays even more. What's your favorite day of the week?
Okay. Let me think about this. I don't know. Like, I'm partial because, like, usually I would say Sunday because football, but we have a bye this week.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay, take football out.
Okay, take football out. I would say hump day.
Wednesday?
Yeah,
Why?
because you're halfway through the week, you know?
Wednesdays are a tease.
You're right. You're right, but there's
no,
like...
if you like Wednesday, then you keep your day.
Well, I'm talking like Wednesday at the end of the workday, not like Wednesday.
Oh, not
driving
Wednesday
to work.
morning. She's talking Wednesday evening.
Yes.
That is hilarious.
Because you're like 60% of the way through. You're already...
That is hilarious.
That's what I would say. I don't know. But you like the Friday Eve.
Oh, well, I even like Friday morning because I'm singing that today is Friday.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
It doesn't matter what part of Friday it is.
Friday on the way
Sundays
to
are my
work.
least favorite.
Oh, because you have to wake up the next morning?
Yeah, and get ready like school like the week starts start all over again.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't really think about that though when I'm having my Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I'd be, you know, the pops and watching some tables and enjoying the atmosphere is what I'd be doing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is great. Well, it's Friday Eve, so happy Friday Eve, everyone. Everyone's saying hello. Hello, Cheryl and Robert and Peter and Linda, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We have some fun stuff to talk about today.
I know.
Because I am a millennial.
Yes.
And you are?
Technically, I'm Gen Z, but I would argue that there should be a second generation in between millennial and Gen Z.
Okay, what would you call it?
See, you put me on the spot there. But, like, I don't know. Like, when you think of Gen Z, you would think of someone that maybe had an iPad in their hands when they were 2 or 3. I had dial-up back in the day.
Okay, stop saying back in the day.
Back in my day, we had dial-up.
Stop saying back in the day.
And I remember my dad would get so upset that I was on the phone because he couldn't use the computer for his actual work stuff.
Uh-huh.
But people don't know that sound. You know the sound. It's like...
Oh my
It's the dial-up tune.
Look, Jordan says Zillennials unite.
Zillennials.
There you go.
Yes, that's it.
Now we have some boomers on here. He said, Howard says, try being a boomer. Life looks much different. So you boomers, we want you to chime in if that's you. But yeah.
Well, kind of we're all Zoomers as well because of,
Why?
Because we started Zooming, about 4 years ago when that world situation happened.
You did say you were good at dad jokes. That is definitely a dad joke.
Yeah.
That is definitely a dad joke. Yeah, you have an old soul.
I do.
You have an old soul. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about like generational, the values and priorities.
Mm-hmm.
So you do not have to agree, but we're going to go through this. And then some of our boomers, we want you to chime in too. So how do we differ in our approach for work-life balance, do you think?
Ooh. So
what are you like?
Me, I work all the time, usually. I feel like I actually just recently was thinking about this. I've had 3 jobs for the last 10 years. And
3 jobs simultaneously?
Yes. Like one would be full-time and part-time, or maybe all 3 were part-time. But I was just thinking, like, this is the first time I haven't had 3 jobs that I'm working at once. Yeah.
So all the boomers are speaking up on here. We want to know what your approach to work-life balance is. And someone said something about retirement, like being retired every day is Friday. That's what Linda said earlier on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good thing.
That is a good,
that's a good thing.
Yeah. A good way to approach every day.
Yeah.
I think too, have you heard of this trend, quiet quitting? Where
Yes.
it's like you are being asked to do things that aren't really part of your job description. So you say, you know what, I'm not doing that.
But most jobs have the asterisk and duties as assigned.
Yeah, but who actually reads the terms and agreement? I mean, think about it. If you go to a website,
you're a Gen Zer.
That's
us
me.
Millennials. Read it.
You read it in full. Like, okay, tell me you open up a browser or whatever on Safari or Google, and it says, "Please accept the terms and agreement." You read that all the way through.
Well, not for like my Apple stuff, but for contracts, yes. I mean, technically, but like, yeah, for work, yeah.
I think there's a guy for that somewhere.
Oh, there is no guy for that. She is
gal.
so Gen Z right now. She is
Oh,
so Gen Z right
Don't
now.
generationalize me like that. I feel so attacked.
I love this. I love this. So I would say work-life balance for millennials. Now, I cannot lie. I hold a couple jobs at a time.
Mhm.
But then it depends on, what route you choose to go. I'm married with kids. Not everybody chooses that. But if you go that route, at some point you have to make a decision, where am I going to spend my time?
Right.
And which means you have to say no to other things. To say yes to something means you have to say no to something else. So you're kind of, forced into it based on your priority. So I think, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I can hold 3 jobs, but can I give them everything? No,
Right.
not like you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
you
don't
go
have the
hard.
kids yet, you know?
Yeah, but if that's the route you choose to go, priorities, like at some point you're gonna say, okay, I have to say no to something.
Yeah, and I think that's actually really hard, especially when you're like a yes person. I remember I had a college professor that said availability is the best ability. So he's like, say yes to everything you can.
Oh,
So,
really?
and yeah, and I think he's
And
onto something there, but
who,
saying yes all the
okay, who
time,
said that?
my college professor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, see, I was told, do not. You will wear yourself out and you will be no good for anything if you say yes to everything.
Well, it gets to that point, and then you do have to start saying no. And then I think the first no is the hardest because it's like, okay, I want to be there for this person and I also want to do this thing, but you can't be 2 places at once. And then eventually that's when prioritizing comes in. But that's really tough when you try to say yes to everything.
Yeah, there's just no way because you end up worn out.
Yeah.
You do. So Liz says, my daughter Savannah said, I can't wait to work. Someone tell her she's wrong. I think working is a great thing.
Yeah.
I think working is a great thing if you like what you're doing.
Yeah. They say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Yep. And
Yeah.
that was a perfect phrase to take us to break. We'll be right back. Okay. So they say what?
They say if you love what you do, you
Mhm.
never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can agree with that. But even when you love it though, you still have to disconnect sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to disconnect when everyone's attached to devices now. So even if you, I don't know, like let's say you're not even friends with coworkers on social media because some people don't want anyone from work on their socials.
Are you one of those?
I'm like, give me everyone as my Facebook friend or whatever, you
See,
know?
now I'm not friends with everyone, but I'm
Right.
friends with a lot of people.
Yeah. And it's good
Okay.
because like, I don't know. I like meeting people. So I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
What's your name? Where are you from?
Yeah. So
Tell me your story.
so a few years ago, more than a few years ago, I worked for a cell phone company. And that's when they introduced me to, and I was in management. I had my own cell phone, but they introduced me to having 2 cell phones. Because why? Because when
Oh,
you're in management, you always have to be on call.
right. And you don't want them to have your personal cell phone number
Oh,
because
they had personal and work. It didn't matter.
oh,
I absolutely loved what I did. I absolutely loved what I did. But what I learned was to never shut it down because you went to, having devices on us. I learned to never shut it down. And that's a horrible habit that I still battle with today.
yeah, like
Like,
shut off your phone.
yes. Yep. Yep.
Honestly, you saying that, I cannot recall the last time I shut off my phone, with the exception of it dying on me. Like,
Mhm.
I think I literally just keep it on all the time.
Yeah.
Just put it on the charger. Oh, it's running low. I need to put it on the charger.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens to the brain when you turn your phone off for 24 hours.
Your brain actually relaxes. We give it a break.
Or is it worse because you're like, what is on my phone? Who's trying to reach me?
That takes time, but you get used to it.
Yeah, it takes
You
more than
get used
24
to it.
hours.
Yeah. Alyssa's pointing over there because she's really good at shutting it off.
Oh, really? Oh,
She is. She is.
maybe she's just ignoring your your calls.
She's not good. She just ignores me.
Yeah.
She has to. Yeah, because mentally you have to disconnect and yeah. I like what Robin says. If you love it, it's not work. Boomer here. She's a boomer and I never found a job I loved. Glad I don't work anymore.
Oh, well, maybe
Yeah.
maybe you were meant to, retirement life. Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. So Robin says she cuts her phone off every night.
I think that's a good habit to have. Also, they say that when I say I remember reading a study that apparently the electromagnetic waves of your phone again, I just read
Oh,
this.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They affect your brain when you sleep. So if you
Mm.
have your phone close to your bed, it actually affects your sleep. Yeah.
I can believe that. We're coming back, friends. Welcome back to Studio 7. Like I always do, I have to stay true to it. If you are not joining us on socials, you are missing out on great conversation because we love replying to you all and chatting with you all. Join us on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X. All right, so before the break, we were talking about millennials and Gen Zs and our different approaches to work life balance. So let's talk a little bit about individualism.
Okay.
Is Gen Z too focused on individualism, or are you guys reshaping healthy boundaries?
Are you saying like you kind of beat your own drum?
BT, yeah,
Individualism?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's more okay. So I think that previous generations, millennials included,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How are you speaking for us millennials?
I'm just saying you can correct me. I mean,
Okay,
you're right
okay,
here
go
to
ahead.
defend
Go
the
ahead.
millennials.
Okay, go ahead.
But I think that previous generations, they were the hard workers. They were raised from the boomer generation, which
I'm
were hard
agreeing
workers.
so far.
So they didn't know how to have those boundaries because they wanted to be the hardest working people in the room or in the building. And I think now Gen Zers maybe are a little extreme with putting that boundary down because we've never had it before as people.
Hmm.
So it is kind of, it might seem a little sometimes selfish, but I think that we're just all learning how to have healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think, and I can agree with you. Jordan says boundaries, boundaries, boundaries.
Yes.
Like I have two Gen Zers in my house and they practice boundaries. The only boundaries I tell them they can't have is when it's your turn to do the dishes. Like you're not going to do that. I'm trying to relax, mom. Don't mess up my zen. Okay?
Right.
We're not
Right.
doing that. But I can agree with that and I actually respect that.
Yeah.
I actually respect that. I agree with you. Like we were taught work, 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 and don't say no. Don't miss an opportunity.
Always say yes if you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you never say no, then you don't have a lot of times any boundaries, and
Mhm.
it's awkward to say no.
Right. And you feel bad doing it. You feel like a problem. I
Yeah,
think too, if you never say no, people are like, well, Mercedes can handle it
yeah,
because she always says yes to everything.
yeah,
So we'll just give it to
yeah.
her.
And what I've learned through relationships is that the fact that you never say no does not make people value you anymore.
Right.
It doesn't.
And actually, sometimes I've found in my experience, sometimes when you don't say no, it makes people kind of take you for granted more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in relationships and things
Hmm.
like that. Yeah, so I can agree with you there.
All right.
Uh, You're good. You're good. And then, one lesson that Gen Zers would give to millennials. We're gonna do it backwards. Normally, the
Ooh.
older generation would, try to speak to the younger generation.
Yeah.
But what would you say to millennials?
Um,
Wait a minute, Howard. Hold on. Howard says so. Mercedes ruins it for all of us.
excuse me,
What did I
Howard?
ruin?
Oh, maybe because you were speaking on behalf of the millennials.
Oh, I don't know, Howard. You got to be clear. Tell us what you're talking about.
Yeah, we need a follow
I
up
want
on
to
that.
hear that. I want to hear this. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm thinking. So a lesson that I think Gen Z could give to previous generations. I don't know if this is proper to speak for Gen Z on this, but I think for like something I would say is life is not that serious. I mean, it
And
is
you're speaking
serious.
to us millennials.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it is serious, but it's also not that serious.
You
Like,
have to explain that.
yeah, I'm gonna try my best here.
Yeah.
But like, yes,
Alyssa is loving this, by the way. Like the grins on her face. Oh, she is absolutely loving this. Go ahead.
like not to sound. Hopefully, this doesn't sound dark and depressing, but in the end, none of us make it out alive. So you might as well enjoy every second that you can with the people
What
that
is
you're
this?
with.
A zombie apocalypse or something?
No, I'm just saying, like, so many people are stressed about finances or they're stressed about how they're going to get through the holidays. And that stress is real. And you should,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
understand that. But don't let it take up your time with the people you love where you can't even enjoy it.
I think it depends on where you are.
That's
Like,
valid.
I take things, and I'm only speaking for me. I take things a little more serious because I know I have 4 younger people watching.
Right.
Like my husband and I. So we always have to, okay, we want to be an example, I guess. It depends on where you are. I can agree with you, but then there's times when my kids even say, "Mom, lighten up. It's not that serious."
Exactly.
They always
Yes.
say it's not that serious. So I can agree with you there.
Yeah, I think it's tough too when you are a parent or when you're a grandparent or just like maybe a mentor figure in the workplace. It's hard to not take it serious because you know that people are looking to you as an example.
Yeah.
So it's hard to kind of remember we're all people, we're
Yeah.
all deep down. I think everyone wants the same things. Like they want to be loved, they want to be happy, they
Yep.
want to spend time with their loved ones. And I think like sometimes we forget that everyone feels that deep down because
We
of our
do.
own things we're going
We
through.
do. We absolutely do.
So just, I think maybe remembering life is serious, but it's not that serious.
Yeah. Well, I can agree with you. Sharon says, "Give to your community and live in kindness."
That is a good one.
And Howard, zero offense. We love to have fun. Yep.
Good.
No, zero offense, my friend. We love to have fun here. You are welcome.
Yes, we
You
love
are
Howard.
welcome. Yes. So tell
Your-
me this. Go ahead. Go
Your
ahead.
advice for us,
Oh,
team.
for Gen Zers, life is serious.
Oh, wow. Okay. An antonym statement.
No. um, you know what? I think we can learn some things from y'all.
Really?
I
Wow.
do.
Thank you.
I do. I really do because I learn a lot from my older two. I have a 22-year-old and an 18-year-old, and we learn every day from them.
Yeah. I think that's great though. And I feel like that's also
Yeah.
a reflection of how you parent, that you're able to like learn from your kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like I watch how they, like we were talking about, set their boundaries sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, boundaries don't apply when it's dish day for you. Like you don't get to like not wash dishes the other 5 days and now that it's your day. That's not a
Right.
boundary, my friend.
Right.
But other than that, how they are navigating and how they're recognizing, they're like, wait a minute, something isn't right. I'm a little off. I need to take a step back where I can push. Just get through it. Just get through it.
Yeah.
You'll be better on the other side. Where they say, no, I need to take this.
Exactly.
And I wish I would have had that when I was younger.
Yeah, I mean, you think like again, it's all about how you're raised too. It's like
Yeah.
the nature versus nurture thing. It's
Yeah.
like how you were shown,
Yep.
and you do look up to your parents and stuff as an example.
You do. And
Yeah.
and then before we go to break, Howard says boomers equals seriousness never stops. I wish it would, but it doesn't.
Ah,
I like it. We'll be right back. That's good combo.
we got deep.
I know.
I know. I was like loving it. I'm like, man, these deep talks.
So do we want to talk about social media culture?
We can talk about anything, Mercedes.
Oh, I
It's
love
all on
that.
the table.
It's all on the table. But social media. So I think when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about like social media and how it's shaped, because I think social media, we don't have to dig into it, but I would think social media has shaped your generation. I remember when my kids were little, they had the iPads, and I mean, they grew up with it where I didn't really get into it until my 20s.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Right.
When do you remember first? I know you're saying back in your day you had dial-up.
I did actually. I remember trying to play Webkins, and my dad was on the phone, and he's like, "Get off the computer." Webkins was the stuff. Which, by the way, my Webkins pets probably all like are starving because I haven't logged in a minute to feed them. So I hope they're all right. Sorry, Marshmallow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, let me think about that.
And my girls still play a game similar to that where they have to feed their pets and stuff.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
But the Tamagotchis.
Oh yes,
The
those
Tamagotchis.
those are so fun.
Yeah.
Yes. I think the first time I remember
Jordan says not the Webkins.
Webkins for real. I'm telling you.
I never had a Webkin.
Oh, someone
Were
needs
they
to get
fun?
you one. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're so fun because you had one. You had it in real life, like a stuffed animal,
Mhm.
and then you could go and like do everything with it digitally. It was awesome.
Yeah. Did you ever have a Walkman? Peter says back in his day they had a Walkman.
Actually, my dad had a Walkman when he would mow the lawn. I remember.
So he had the Walkman on his hip?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And wait a
And the
minute,
New
we
Balance.
have more comments. I
With the
cannot
grass
stand
stains.
you for that one. Karen says back in my day we had 8 tracks. That I never experienced. But I'm sure my parents have
8 tracks.
8 tracks.
What's that? See, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, your inflection was wrong on that.
Well,
8 tracks? It's 8 tracks.
I thought you meant the car, like the Chevy tracks. Like an
No.
8 tracks.
Yeah, your inflection was way wrong. I
See,
think you're gonna offend some people with
okay,
it. It's
my
eight
bad.
tracks.
Apologies. My bad.
Just
My bad.
no, there's no inflection on tracks. Just 8 tracks.
8 tracks.
Yeah.
Sounds like moose tracks, which makes me want ice cream.
This is great.
Hey, calories don't count when you're in the period between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
You're a Gen Z. Only a Gen Zer would say that. Millennials know that every calorie counts.
Well, you don't worry about it till later,
Well, later that night.
closer to the summer, seasonally.
And welcome back to Studio 7. We have great conversations during
Yeah, we
these breaks.
do.
So we kind of went back a little bit. Some folks were commenting saying how they listen to music because you brought up Webkins.
Yes. Webkins was so much fun. It was
Well, explain what it is for those that may not know.
okay, yeah, I got you. So it was a stuffed animal that you would get from the store, and it would have a code on it, and you could take it to webkins.com or whatever, and you put the code in, and then you could take that pet that you could hold in your lap while at the computer and feed them and walk them around, play mini games.
But it was a stuffed animal.
It was a stuffed animal in
Okay.
real life, so you could cuddle it at night, and then you could bond on the computer too.
So it's similar to what my girls have, the Tamagotchis.
Yeah.
But those are more they're games.
Yeah, but you can take the Tamagotchi tool and hold it with you at night if you want to have
Yeah.
it with you to protect you from the monsters. But yes,
But some people were saying, like, from there, some people were talking about how they listen to music. Someone said they had a Walkman, and then someone said 8 tracks. An 8 track is an extra large cassette, Susan said. So just picture an
Ah.
extra large cassette.
I should have known that. So I actually have two cassette players, and I have cassettes because I'm a radio host and
Mhm.
I used to record. I used to click it and I would pretend that I was on the radio and then I would listen
Mhm.
back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my parents had the vinyl records,
Oh, okay, cool.
and I still have a vinyl record player today. The
oh,
vinyl,
sweet.
and I did have a Walkman. It was so cool if you had a Walkman
I'm
in school.
kind
It
of
was-
jealous because I
yeah.
love the vintage stuff like that.
It was so cool. It
What was
so
your
cool.
first vinyl record you had?
Oh gosh, probably Whitney.
Whitney.
Whitney
That's
Houston.
a good choice. Yeah.
Whitney Houston, the Anita Bakers, the Erykah Badu's. Like it's all like neo soul, R&B, LL Cool J.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, everything that was they say like everything that was fashionable once seems to make its way back. Like bell-bottom pants are back in, Vinyl records,
Yeah.
if you ever went to the store in the last like year, you'll see that the prices has actually gone back up because people want vinyl again.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I bought my daughter one for Christmas 2 years ago. She loves it.
A turntable or
Yes,
vinyl?
the,
Oh,
the vinyl records
very
and
cool.
the actual turntable. She absolutely loves it. So yes, they are coming back.
yeah, it's got like a crisp sound. You can't really
You
get
can't.
when you're playing songs from YouTube or wherever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Caitlin says she has a VCR in her attic somewhere along with VHS tapes. Do you know what those are?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you kidding
I'm
me?
just saying earlier, I'm just asking.
Yes, we had some VHS tapes when I remember also at Blockbuster, the Be Kind Rewind.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Throwback
had to
to that.
rewind your movie before you took it back.
Yeah, and if there was
Yeah.
times I remember we would forget, or if we would realize after the fact we did not rewind, I felt like a horrible person. So
Wow. So look at Sue says she still has her first album from 1966. She paid $3 for it.
whoa,
Nice. What album is that? I would like to know what album.
I also want to know.
Yeah.
First vinyl record I ever got was Frankie and Johnny, the soundtrack album. It was from Elvis Presley,
Mhm.
and I bought it for $7. But that was also at like a garage sale, and I thought for $7 at a garage sale. I mean,
Yeah.
usually you see lower prices than that, but they're, like I said, back in popularity.
Yeah. Now everything is social media. I was walking through Target the other day and someone asked for a DVD
Really?
in the store. And the staff, the gentleman looks at her and says, "None of our stores have that anymore, ma'am. Everything is digital." And she's like, "What?" Like
It's
she was
sad.
Christmas shopping.
Yeah, no, it's sad. And even people that have newer cars now, have you noticed that they don't have a CD player in them?
Mine doesn't.
Mine doesn't either.
Nope.
I bought a new
We
car.
have the aux cables.
Yeah, aux cables.
Yeah.
I remember when I was getting my newest car, I went to get the CD out of my old car. I had forgotten it. So I actually had to go and ask if I could pick it up because it was an important CD.
That must have been a good CD.
Mark McGuinn listened to it on the way to New York when I moved to Buffalo. So I needed that CD because my mom and I would sing the songs out, right?
I love it.
But anyway, I went to put it back. I went to put it in my new car now. And I'm like, this doesn't even have a CD player. How am I going to even listen to this CD?
You better just keep it for
Yeah.
memory's sake. So people are giving us, Sue said Beach Boys, Little Deuce Coupe was the album.
Oh, okay.
Was the one that she got for $3.
Yeah.
My first album was Herman's Hermits.
I'm going to have to look that one up.
Yeah.
Herman's Hermits.
And Sandy says, I still have my first album, Beatles, paid $3 at Rudy's.
Wow, these $3 albums.
Yes.
I'm jealous.
I know.
Bring it
Grace
back.
says, I believe my first album was The Monkees.
Love the Monkees. Stop. Davy Jones was my favorite.
Mhm.
I could name them all probably. Mickey Dolenz, Peter Tork, and Michael Nesmith. Love the Monkees.
I
There you go.
love it. Yeah, Peter says he heard some vehicles still have CD players. I'll freak out if my car does not have a CD player. Well, Peter, don't go looking for DVDs at Target.
Yes. You won't find them
You
at Target.
won't find any. You won't find. Oh, Ace of Base. Do you remember them?
Yes.
Yep. Peter said, I think my first album was Ace of Base.
Is that I saw the sign?
Yep.
And it opened up. I'm gonna stop singing.
Yes, please do. Please
Okay.
do. But I
My
got you
bad.
though. I got
Keep
the
those
song.
headphones tight on your ears because my bad. My bad.
Now, Dee Dee says, look at this one. I have vinyl records. Wait a minute. Yeah, I have vinyl records from when I was little. Donny Osmond, Barbara Streisand in Chicago.
Ooh.
Nice.
Speaking of Donny Osmond, and Christmas is right around the corner. Not to jump through Thanksgiving or anything, but there is a Christmas special of Johnny Bravo Christmas. Have you seen it?
No.
And I'm pretty sure it's Donny Osmond on the plane. He's like, he like sings a song. I won't do it because obviously we've my vocal, we've heard that. But yeah, it's actually really good. If you're a Donny Osmond fan, look up the Johnny Bravo Christmas.
Nice.
Might have to be something for the holiday season.
Yes, people
Yeah.
are still coming in. But guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We have to go. Thanks for talking music with us. We'll see you tomorrow.